On today's episode of Zounds, words that have no etymologies. If you've ever looked up the etymology of a word and been disappointed to discover the words Orig, Uncert written after the definition, you are not alone. The search for origins of words is a tantalizing pursuit and a neat way to connect to our past. And it can be disappointing, in a big book of the origins of words, to discover that one is uncertain. Etymologies provide satisfying stories about the language that we use, and know, and love. They are some of the most popular search items of all time and are consistently the most engaged with popular language content online. However, secure etymologies are actually very rare. The process of constructing the origin story of a word is fraught with many challenges, such as the increasingly limited surviving resources the further back in time one looks. Most etymologies published in dictionaries and online contain a high degree of supposition, and most words, especially those that are or have been previously casual or informal in usage, have very little written history to trace. For example, medieval scribes were not in the habit of writing down ordinary street language, or words used by peasants, despite the fact that lots of people talked that way. Language is conditioned primarily by spoken use, and the written word is a separate crafted type of language. On account of practical requirements, etymologies are constructed by linking together predominantly surviving written resources and comparing these to other related languages. Through this approach, words that were widely used over time generally have secure origin stories. That being said, there are some surprisingly common words that do not have an etymological origin, or that seemingly appear out of nowhere at certain points in time. For example, the musical instrument that has been used to torture parents for decades, the recorder. The first surviving written example of the word recorder comes in the household records from the Earl of Derby in 1388. These records were written in Latin, as this was still a widely used literary language at the time. The word recorder, spelled R-E-C-O-R-D-O-U-R, is capitalized, which seems to indicate that the word was either new or possibly a proper noun. The word begins to appear more frequently in the 1500s, along with other words for instruments like still flute and flute douce. While there are many other prior examples of pipes and flutes of different varieties being referenced in written records, no earlier mention of recorder, nor any contemporary explanation as to its meaning has been uncovered. Several etymologies have been posited since the 1800s, but until more data comes to light, we just won't know. Another word with a disappearing origin story is the verb to kick. The earliest written record of it comes from Chaucer's The Wife of Bath's Tale, in the line, "that we now kick, for he seeth us sooth," which is often translated into modern English as, "that we will not kick back because he tells us the truth." Two major etymologies have been proposed, to an Old Norse root and to a Proto-Celtic root. But there is insufficient data to shore up either of these claims. Animal names also present etymological quandaries. The words bird, dog, and toad, for example, all begin to appear during the Old English period, but bear no similarity or connection to other Germanic roots. The more common word for bird in Old English was Vogel, connected to the German word Vogel, and others. And the more common word for dog was Hound or Hund. These were replaced 8 centuries ago in common parlance by the words dog and bird, with Hound and Vogel developing specialized meanings and being relegated to the margins. The word toad largely maintained its meaning, but is unrelated to words in other languages. Even words like girl and boy present etymological mysteries. They both started to appear in the 1300s, but share no roots with other Germanic or Frankish languages. The word girl initially referred to a child of either sex, and if you wanted to specify gender, you would say a gay girl for a female child and a knave girl for a male child, using the word knave, which was a common word for boy that dates from the 700s and has a traceable Germanic root. Etymologies are the product of an obscure subdiscipline of historical linguistics and semiotics. And though they are very tasty, there is far more that we do not know than that which we do know. Many words disappear over etymological cliffs due to diverse factors such as the invention of the printing press, increase in widespread education, standardized spelling, and even such things as natural disaster, and the deep tragedy of libraries catching on fire. For now, though, we are left to wonder at the origins of such words as donkey, curse, and blight, and hope that someday undiscovered caches of written documents will appear to present us with new chapters to these mysteries. Thank you for listening.